Yes, I made it in time. I jumped out from the cafeteria with a dish I prepared for her. But you're still hungry, right? I placed the dish down in front of her. It was the one dish I could cook. Omurice. It's actually edible. Haruka kept glancing at the clock. As thick-headed as she can be sometimes, she's still earnest and punctual. You could even say she's a stickler for rules. It's okay to be a little late. What's 1 or 2 hours compared to our long lives? I forced a spoon into her hand. Bon appetit! I started straightened her at her and wouldn't let her object. Haruka finally gave in with a sigh. That's because we're only met just recently. There's still a lot we don't know about each other. She scooped up a spoonful of chicken with rice and half-done eggs. How is it? She gave me a look of surprise. I see, it's good, huh? It's good enough that you doubt my integrity. She started wolfing it down like there was no tomorrow. I felt really proud to watch her enjoy eating something I made. You're a great cook for being able to cook just one thing. Well, this is the only thing I can make well, but my picky little sister loves it. It's the one dish in my repertoire I'm confident in. You know, in visual novels, you'll always hear the protagonist's family, but you never see them though, do you, half the time? I just figured Clannad there, and I was like, well, technically we see Tomoya's father, and he's an only child, and his mother seems to have died at some point. Always the case in key visual novels, isn't it? Only one parent allowed. I was like thinking the other day about Ayu, and they're just like, where's their family and all that, you know? It's like, this kind of like, they just pick and choose with that. It's like, well, we gotta have Naoki's mother in him because the protagonist lives with her and Akiko there, so you gotta have that in there. Everyone else's parents just like, fuck them. Never even, well, actually they do kind of like have relevance. Maya's mother at least. And then there's, I don't think we see Shiori's and Kayari's parents at all, so that's just like another one where it's like, fuck that. And who else? Wow, my god, it's a different story entirely. And okay, maybe it's just Ayu on that front. That's the weirdest one in that case, where it's just like, where the hell is the family? Just like in a lot of visual novels, it's like, well, the family, goddammit. I mean, it makes sense in this case, you know. He's far away from his family, but still, bugs me. I'm glad you liked it too. It's like, kind of like, think of it like this very different type of novel. Well, sort of. I mean, it has those scenes much like this one, but very different type of story, you know? Murder mystery, Kano Shoujo and all that. Like in that, you got like the protagonist, his parents are deceased and he lives with his sister. Family! And then the protagonist from Katagra, who also appears in the first and second Kano Shoujo, but more of a cameo in Kano Shoujo 2. The protagonist for that has two sisters, both of who are weird as fuck in their own ways. but we don't really see his parents, so I'm not sure if they're even alive there or not. But you know, at least it shows that these characters actually have family rather than just kind of being like just there, just like, hey, we don't need to expand on my character, I'm the protagonist. You're gonna expand on the other characters, but only the characters that you can date, potentially. Or at least have one of those scenes with, you know? Otherwise, who gives a fuck about their families? Kind of thing. That's too many characters to expand on. Heck, actually, now I think about it, even one of the main characters, Toko, I think her name was. We see her parents and all that shit. We see a lot of character development stuff, you know? Where's that shit in most visual novels? I tell you where, nowhere to be seen half the time. And when it is, it's half-assed half the time. Anyways, going off on a ramble now. She liked it enough to eat it every day.
毎日和志くんがご飯作ってたの?
She started tossing questions out my way. Only for a bit. We had some family issues to sort out a while back, so we kept having dinners and takeout, but because of mental stress from those issues, and also because she was sick of takeout, my sister stopped eating. When that happened, I tried making all kinds of things to get her to eat something, but she refused them all. When I was at my wit's end, I made omurice. I still failed on my first attempt, but despite my big failure, my omurice was the first thing she ate. She went on and on about how awful it was. I got so fed up with hearing that I practiced making it. Now it's the one dish that I can feel confident in making. I was confident because even though my sister refused to eat gourmet sushi or food from famous restaurants, the one thing she would eat was my omurice.
そうだったんだ.
I explained this all to Haruka without going into much detail about our family crisis. But thankfully, she didn't pry into it. She's actually quite considerate.
誰かのために一生懸命覚えたものだからこんなに美味しいのかな。なんかあったかい味がするもんね。
I'm not sure about that, but I did do my best to make it so you would enjoy it.
あ、そっか。
She got my point.
こういうのは錬金術じゃできないのかな。
Who knows? I sure don't, but I do think you can make good food without relying on alchemy. Oh yeah, he was probably trying to prove a point there, wasn't he? Just like, oh yeah, you know, why don't I just learn to cook? I mean, the alchemy makes it taste nice and all, but there's no heart in the food. Just picture Katie just coming straight onto the scene and giving one of his passionate speeches. Is like he did when he was comparing the bentos to try to not come last in the competition thing.
そうだね。美味しいお料理が作りたかったら一生懸命練習すればいいんだよね。私、自分でも気づかない間に錬金術に頼りすぎてたかな。
Just like in fiction where there's like magic and like you see characters relying so heavily on magic that you'd think if they so much as had to pick up something moderately heavy, they'd freaking break their arm or something. Ow! How do you mortals do this? It's like, well, you're technically mortal as well, you just happen to know magic. Fuck you! How can you pick this up so easily? Because we do this shit all the time. She stared at her hands with a self-deprecating smile.
本当はね、私料理って全然ダメなの。料理を覚えるより早く錬金術を学び始めてたからかな。料理を初めて作った時全然うまくいかなくて、でも錬金術を応用したら簡単に美味しくできたんだよね。だからもう料理の勉強はほとんどしなかったな。できないことを試行錯誤してできるようになったりとか。だから私あんまりないかも。
You know, I just thought of a bizarre thing. It's like, imagine if you're just like, okay, let's try see what Pokemon can cook up. It's like, Alakazam, you have a high IQ, you've got psychic powers, let's see what you can make. I wonder if there's ever been an episode in the Pokemon anime where they just had Pokemon in a contest making food. Because that sounds like a potential thing, doesn't it? It's like, which Pokemon will make the greatest food? It's like Alakazam's got the high IQ and the psychic powers, but I don't think that would really necessarily lead to the best foods. Just like no, that wouldn't work. Snorlax would just eat the foods. Wouldn't even be able to prepare anything. It's like, you just got everything laid out prepared and he eats it all before he even gets to work. And by work I mean sleeping, because that's all Snorlax does. Eat and sleep. And probably defecate at some point. And maybe drink something occasionally. But mostly eating and sleeping. I had to struggle so much just to perfect one dish, but when I finally did, I was really happy.
とみんなそうなんだろうね。私はあんまりそういうのを感じたことはなかったけど。
You know, for me, the most complicated dish that I can recall ever being able to make was spaghetti bolognese. And while that's not exactly like that complicated, I remember when I'd made it and it was like, it came out perfectly. It looked like it should look. It looked perfect. What else have I made in the past? Most of what I'd make was usually just grill based, which is very easy to do. Trouble is, you know, motivation and the fact that it's not the same, you know, cooker, oven and grill as it was back then. So, you know, getting used to different ones and all that. Same with bloody microwaves, isn't it? You think a microwave would be simple to understand, but no, each microwave is unique. You gotta figure out precisely how it works. It's like, okay, so you turn this knob and it puts on this mode, or does it do something else? How do you just get it to be like, for God's sake, all I want to do is warm this up for 2 minutes. How do I do this? It's like freaking rocket science going on here. Where's the instruction manual? Her smile looked so lonely. Well, look, everyone is different. I'm not criticizing you or anything, Haruka. It's probably the normal response for someone who studied alchemy. How would I know?
むやみに錬金術を使うことで逆に錬金術の本質まで見失ってたかもしれないって思う。和志くんに気づかされちゃったな。
She showed me a happy smile. Her sincere look and soft lips caught my eyes. I thought she was going in for a kiss then.
和志くんってどんな料理が好きなのかな？
Me, well, I like curry, ramen, and hamburgers. Well, not really big on hamburgers. I don't think I've even tried ramen before, but curry, yes. I like some curry.
子供の好きそうなものが好きなんだね。
Hey! You're right, but boys tend to not have such really fine tastes. Well, what? It's just like... What was it? I think... Was it in the previous part in this LP, or was it Final Fantasy X when I rambled about that? I can't remember. I remember rambling at some point in one recording, where it's like, you know what, chips, they go with everything. You could even have chips with chips. I remember one odd request I had for the head chef of the family, my dad essentially. You just like asked, what do you want to eat now? And I remember at one point I said something like, I'll have chips and waffles, and he's just like, but that's essentially the same thing! Same thing, potatoes, man! Potatoes, the food of the gods!
そっか、それじゃ私、今度ちゃんとチャレンジしてみるよ。そんで、もう一度、和志くんに食べてもらう。
You know, people would probably say, no, bacon is the food of the gods. Fuck bacon. It's alright, but I don't get the hype. Chips is where it's at. You can even have that, bacon and chips, man.
今度は本当に美味しいって言ってもらいたいもんね。
Don't get me wrong, I seriously meant your lunch was delicious today. It wasn't a lie, and I knew she knew it.
当たり前だよ。私あのお弁当に本気で術をかけたんだからね。高級料亭くらいの味になってるはずだよ。
No, I wonder if for them there's just like, oh, we can only use a certain amount of alchemy per day. We gotta restore our energy, our power, our inner whatever the fuck we call it, every day to be able to recover enough to do more the next day. Like thinking in a video game kind of way, you know? That's totally how it'd be. It's like you can make one gourmet meal per day with your alchemy. Once you have done that, you can no longer use the alchemy for that for the rest of the day. She was silent for a minute after she said that.
でも今度はあんまり期待しないでね。錬金術ならちょっとは自信あるけど、私本当に料理は苦手だから。
Don't worry, just the fact that you cooked for me will make me happy.
そう言ってもらえると気が楽だけどね。じゃあ期待しながら期待しないで待っててね。
Is it gonna be one of those comically bad food situations like Rio from Planet, where Tomoya was like, That's a difficult request. I can't wait though. I'm kind of looking forward to finding out how bad her cooking is. I swore to myself that I would eat it all, no matter how awful it was. Classic protagonist determination to eat foods that a girl has made for them, even if it's bad. Man, this is classic as well, isn't it? It's like they always have that kind of like background thing when transitioning between scenes. A few days have passed since then. The everyday drawl of going to class and coming home to the dorms never changes no matter where you go. So a few days passed and we haven't seen any of the classes really. Then you saw a homeroom, but that was it. A homeroom isn't really a class necessarily, is it? So homeroom, like I remember it briefly. Like I said, it's taught at home after like 2 months since that point when I went to that school. And is it a class where you go to first thing in the day and it's just like blah de blah de blah, we're not teaching anything, this is just the class you come to at the start of the day with all the other ones that have been assigned to this class, and then you bugger off to the classes and do the subjects and shit. As usual, we wielded the power of sleep to get through classes and headed back to our dorm. The school was absolutely gorgeous, but we almost came back to the same squalid dorms.
なーにため息ついてんだよ。
I would think if he actually sounded like I did, Appa would not just say white aside. He's like, what the hell was that? Well, I'm tired from trying to keep up with all the changes taking place.
まあな、ここ数日は目まぐるしかったし。
The island sure is strange. This, I mean.
潮の満ち引きだけでこんなに島は浮かねえだろ普通。
Also the alchemy. They've shown us all kinds of it, but I still don't quite get it.
前の学校の普通の授業だってピンと来てないんだから、そりゃ来ないんじゃね
You're right. Maybe I should just think of it as one of the art classes, you know?
そんなことより、俺たちが今後どうすればバラ色の学園生活を送れるかについて作戦会議しようぜ。そろそろピエールとダイゴも来るからよ。
We stumbled right at the get-go thanks to you.
だよ、そんな些細なことは忘れろよ。ポジティブに行けよ、ポジティブに。
作戦会議の会場はこちら。
早く終わらせて風呂に行こうぜ、風呂に。
まあ座れよ。で、諸君、この先この学園でバラ色の人生を送るための作戦、略してバラ作戦を話し合おうじゃないか。
なんかホモっぽいタイトルだな、おい。
本来だったら女の子の選択権は俺からなんだが、俺は神の心と妖精のボディを持っているので合議制にしようと思う。
はい。
なんだね、ピエール君。
なんで選択権がお前からなの？
この中で俺が一番かっこいいからです。
No, you are the ugliest. I wish I had that. I want it.
その裏付けのない自信が。
うるせえよ。で、お前らどれにターゲット絞るよ。俺は目に首ったけだからそれ以外でお願いしますよ。
You took the first pick after all.
大悟は
I wonder back in the day, because like I said, May was the first round I went through. I wonder if part of the reason for that was just out of spite. It's like, fuck you, Apple! I mean, there's no way you get with any of the girls that the protagonist can get with, because, well, that would be absolutely mind-boggling.
俺意外に人見知りだからな。あのでかいのと造形ミス以外だったら誰でもいいぞ。
I've never actually I don't recall ever seeing him get with any of the girls, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a point where he does get with the muscular one.
誰でもいいとか言える立場かよ。つうか俺らが被らねえように会議してんじゃねえかバーカ。で、強いて言うなら誰よ。
飯がうまかったから藤崎かな。
She has huge boobs too, you know.
そうな、かなりのマニューだったな。ピエールはどうよ。
小さすぎるぜお前ら。
What the heck? What are you talking about?
この中で唯一非童貞の俺はお前らが小さく見えると言っている。
先っちょかすっただけのくせに。
そんで言っちゃってほぼ喪失未遂のくせに。
You're still 80% the same as us.
バーカ！山に登る前のお前らと1合目の俺とでは天と地の隔たりがあるんだよ。
Then, so, who do you want?
俺はターゲットとして決めた全員とそういう関係になってから改めてフィアンセを決めようと思ってる。
Oh shit, he is thinking big.
ちょっとピエールがかっこよく見える。
見えるよ、男の山脈が。
The pigs of Manhor.
今日から俺を256ピエールと呼ぶがいい。
なんで 256？
ジゴロって意味だろ。
へへん。で、カズシこそどうなんだよ。
Me, I want. We got a lot of choices there. It's like, if we mention, it's like, that's pretty much just like, oh, these are all the routes, like, in the expansion version, and I imagine they add in Rin and Sakura as well. But it's kind of weird, isn't it? I mean, they know Haruka, they know Mizuki, they know Ran, they know May. Who's Ray? Oh wait! I just realized. Oh my god. That's the muscular girl. You don't get with her. As far as I'm aware. But Natsume, they don't even know who she is. You know what? I'm gonna save and pick Ray and then go with a different choice. Just to see their reaction. There is no other, no one else other than Ray-chan. I want to be. I can't, man. I want to be embraced by those strong arms. Psych! Hey, it was a gag, okay? Don't believe it. It's just a joke, just a joke.
心配するなよ。俺らが全力を持ってバックアップするからよ。
屍は俺たちが拾ってやるから。
抱きしめられてこい。でもそれはベアハグって技以外の何者でもないぞ。
Screw you guys!
まあ話もまとまったところでこんなものを用意しました。
Look what you got. Nothing. You ain't got shit. You know what? I want to see all of these, to be honest. See what all the choices lead to. We'll go from here to Haruka. Mei. I want Mei Sensei.
おお、カズシ、この俺とハロっての？この圧倒的に俺有利な状況からどうひっくり返すか見ものですの、皆の衆。なんで黙ってんのよ。
ごめんね、カズシちゃん。この子ちょっと夢見がちだから。
頭かわいそう病の特効薬が開発されるまでお友達でいてやってね。
保護者っぽく言うなや。ま、話もまとまったところでこんなものを用意しました。
I like how regardless of what kind of choice you go with, you'll always go back to that dialogue. Which is neat, because it you know when that dialogue is like, you know, finished up. Just go with the girl that they don't even know, because they probably never met her, because we only met her the one time. That freshman, Mamiya Natsume, might be good.
ああ、もうお前1年に手出したんか。
But they've met her, or what?
早えな、おい。
Oh no, we just bumped into each other by accident.
どんな子なんだ？
Oh, they haven't then. She's tiny, not talkative, and a little violent, but sweet at the same time.
わけわかんねえ。
カズシがロリコンだったとはね。
You Nimrod, she's only a year younger. How the hell does that make me a lolicon?
ま、話もまとまったところでこんなものを用意しました。
And he switches back to that. Don't you think Ran would be good? Well, not good for your wallet, that's for sure, Kazushi. As I said, it played for half for a round, and well, needless to say, it didn't do too well on Kazushi's wallet.
なんか金を吸い取られ続けそうなイメージなんだけどよ。
カズシ、一つだけ言っておく。
What?
金なら貸さんぞ。
以下同文。
以下同文。
ま、話もまとまったところでこんなものを用意しました。
Me. I guess Sonata.
ほほう、茨の道を歩みますか。
Why do you say that?
だってカズシ微妙に仕方されてたりするじゃん。
Sometimes a little challenge makes it worth pursuing.
チャレンジャーだ。
You think?
ま、話もまとまったところ
Well,
で
that was brief.
こんなものを用意しました。
みんな
Hey,
すっごい
I loaded the wrong one.
さすが男の子。
Fitting either way because that's the other choice. I guess Haruka.
まあ一番脈ありそうだもんな。
Yeah, she does look like main girl material.
ちょっと回線が別のところに入ってる感じもするけどな。
カズシって意外と手堅いんだな。もっと冒険するかと思ってた。
スケブラにやられたか、カズシ。でもわかる。よーくわかるぞ。
You've seen far more than that.
濡れスケは男のロマンが満載だもんな。
ま、話もまとまったところでこんなものを用意しました。
Wow, booze!
アッポにしては気が利くな。
どこから持ってきたんだ？
にひひ、厨房からパクってきたの。
Confirmation toast.
八神にバレたら殺されるな。
じゃ、大悟は飲まないの？
もちろん飲む。
まあや、これから先お前らとの付き合いもますます深くなるわけで、より一致団結していかないとなーと思ってさ。
I'm impressed, Appa. You're a little more thoughtful than I thought.
だってよ、周りは女だらけで味方もいるけど敵も多いじゃん。そんな中で俺たちはバラ色の未来をつかむために戦っていくわけよ。
They do this, seem like they need to gossip is on par with breeding.
そうだな。俺たちのバラ色の未来のためにふんどしの紐を締め直すか。
Just for the love of God, don't actually, go around in a loincloth, like literally now.
バラとふんどしってますますホモくせえな。
Well then, should we do our usual?
俺
Oh!
たちは
裏切らない。
We shall not
諦めない。
give up!
俺たちは
今しかない。
Pick a potato! What?
俺たちは
顔じゃない。
Determined by looks! For us!
明日のために。
未来のために。
バラ作戦成功を祈って。
Which is really gay! There will be a punishment if you don't chug it down!
せーの、
乾杯! Appo's face looks even more hideous. Somehow. I wonder if that's it. Yep. Oh! Oh! Oh my. Oh my. Gonna have to edit that. This is the end of the trial version. Please enjoy the rest of the game by purchasing the full version at mangamer.com. To that I say I already did that years ago, and since it doesn't work anymore, I don't care. Is that it? Yep, just kind of leaves it there. So that was Edelweiss trial version. Don't know if I'll ever... Oh, it ended. Don't know if I'd ever actually LP the actual full version or not. But yeah, that was something to do while waiting for Higurashi, which, as you just see here, is finally nearly there. It's finally returning. I've missed it. I've missed voice acting those characters and reading it and being all like, what the fuck, this is messed up shit, man. And Samoa Horoboshi has at least one scene that is quite infamous in the series, where it's just like, ooh, oh, 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 no, oh, no. If you don't know what I'm talking about there, or alluding to, you'll see what I mean when we get that, whenever that is. But anyways, hope you enjoy this random little detour of Edelweiss trial version, and we've release date for the next Higurashi arc. At least now we finally have that, you know. Don't know what I'll do in the meantime. Probably not much. I've got an idea for like my own random kind of like Higurashi video or two, where like I feel like writing out a script that I make with the characters and just like make my own little Higurashi story. Not like a lengthy one, but a bizarre short one that I'll just be like, what? Because I've got a really random idea for that. Maybe I'll do that. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this. See you whenever. Peace out.